Okay, just an FYI, throughout this video, I might be kind of sweaty because I had to turn my fan off for this because y'all know box fans are loud even on their lowest setting, so bear with me. Without further ado, hello, welcome to my channel. This is what I'm going to call my first ASMR video because I've tried this before a couple years past and I think I was just super awkward and not ready to try anything. So we're doing this again and I'd like to do some like creative ideas. So today I'm going to be introducing you to my little plants. So just so you know, the tree behind me in the frame is actually fake. I got it from Goodwill for $9. So if y'all are ever looking for cheap decorations for your room, especially plants, I would recommend going to Goodwill. Goodwill, they got what you need. But yeah, today I'm going to be showing you all the little plants that I have. I don't have that many because I'm kind of a beginner plant caretaker, but I am learning and I'm getting excited because I haven't killed these yet, so progress, am I right? So yeah, my plan for today's video is to show you the plants and then maybe draw some, and then I'm also going to be flipping through some pages in a book that I got, a plant book. I got this for my birthday. This is called Leaf Supply, a guide to happy houseplants. And it makes me so happy just to look at. It looks like this. And yeah. So I might flip through a couple pages in there just because I really like this book. So another thing is that I think by showing you the plants that I have and have not killed yet, it'll kind of be like good plants for anyone who's also wondering how to start taking care of plants without killing them. So yeah, I'm just going to introduce you to the 5 plants that I have right with me right now. And they're sitting on my floor. I am also sitting on the floor, just so you know. Okay. Comprende? Good. So, everybody knows that succulent plants are usually like A+ for beginners. Like if you're starting off taking care of plants and you don't know what to get that you won't kill, I recommend doing a succulent. So, the first one I have is this guy right here. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know the names of any of these succulents. I just know they're succulents. Because I mean, nobody's putting names on them. When I got these from the store, they just all had the label succulents. So, blame the store, not me. Thank you. But this is the first one. He's doing really well. I've actually had this one probably like a year now, and he's growing lots of new baby leaves. I'm going to include some close-up shots of all the plants just so you know, but this is the first one and it is a succulent, and with these you just need to water them like every 3 weeks or maybe even less than that. They say on this label, at least, it says water with 1 inch water in the pot every 3 weeks. And another thing that I've been doing lately is I've been keeping my plants in their original nursery plants or pots, but I've been buying other pots to go over top of those that don't have a hole in the bottom, because at my college house I don't really have a lot of areas that I can put these where like they can leak water, and that's fine. like it will ruin the flooring. And I don't want to put them outside because we have lots of little animals that will eat them. So I just got another gray pot to go on the outside of that pot. So that is the first plant. This one's name is Gerald, after my now deceased other plant I had named Gerald, who was a fern actually. Moving on to the next succulent that I have. I do not know any of the names of these succulents, okay? I just know they're succulents. So this is my next succulent. Sorry, I've got a hair on my hand. But this is my next succulent. This one is Lola. What I love so much about Lola is that she kind of looks like a crab, like Mr. Krabs, the one and only from SpongeBob. You know what I mean? Like all these little arms are kind of like crab hands. I don't know what I'm saying, but that's what I think they look like. And what's also interesting to me is that Lola also has, like on the little arms, there's even little hairs growing out from her arms. So I really don't know. I'm not sure what purpose that those little hairs serve. But yeah, I mean, she doesn't need to shave. She could be happy with her little hairs, you know? Empower women. I mean, I don't really know if this plant, plants have genders, right? I don't really know where this video is going. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. But, yeah, this is Lola. She's another succulent. I've had her not as long as the other one, but she's been doing pretty good. She does have some fallen leaves, but I know a couple people have mentioned that these ones do drop their leaves pretty fast. So, but maybe that's wrong. I don't know, maybe they were lying to me. But yeah, got lots of new little growth as well. Really pretty one. And I think I was just drawn to it because of the crab hands. So if you want an interesting looking succulent, get this one. Whatever it's called, they didn't tell me. And the table did not have labels on any of these. They just said succulents, which I feel is kind of rude to the plant because we're just grouping them all together, you know. Each one is unique. They've all got their own things going on. And yet we just put them in these groups without giving them any kind of uniqueness to them. I know, Lola. You deserve better. On to the next plant. Okay, what's on here? So, sorry, my hair is like a lion's mane. Okay. The next plant I have isn't in tip-top shape, I'm gonna be honest, but I will have you know it was like this when I got it, and I'm not lying. So, you may recognize this. This is a Sansevieria, or snake plant. And I bought a little tray to go with it because I did not buy another little, like, pot to go over this one. So, that's why it's got this little plate, and the plate actually says there, but all spelled 3 different ways. I don't know why I bought this. But, yeah, this is the snake plant. I originally thought it was the mother-in-law or mother's tongue or whatever plant, but it's not. I mean, they've labeled it this way, but I'm pretty sure snake plants normally have like stripes, but maybe they lose them if they're not treated very well. And I don't know if you can really see. I'll include close-ups, but from this angle you probably can't see, or maybe you can. But the leaves on this one, it's like they cut the tips off of some of them, and it's starting to happen what I imagine they experienced here. Like, I think that's from getting too much sun. I think the tops of them are getting kind of scorched, and they're turning brown and kind of shriveling up, so people thought like, oh, I'll just cut off the leaves on the top so people don't know what happened. And I think that's what they were trying to do. But I think that's a problem. Like, I was doing some research, and usually these snake plants, or even the mother-in-law's tongue ones, those ones don't need as much sunlight. If they need low light, and I think they also don't need a ton of water. So I think because they were placed like right along with all the other greenhouse plants, I think it probably was getting too much light and probably too much water, and so I think it just wasn't in the best condition. So, but that has been one. I mean, and it looks the same to me right now as it did when I got it, so I don't really know if I need to do anything different. I haven't really noticed a lot of change, but I think it's doing okay. I don't know. I've had it like hidden kind of on a dresser of mine, kind of in the corner, to avoid a ton of sunlight. It still gets bright in here, but it's not direct light. I don't water it a ton, so it's doing pretty good. Another plant that I really love, man, I'm trying to figure out which one I should do next because I love both of these so much. I'll go with this one first. So this is probably my favorite one right now. This one I haven't really picked a name yet, but I'm going to call it I think Steven. No, this looks more like a girl plant. Let's go with how about I like the name Aurora. I don't think it really fits her that much, but you know, she'll grow into it. Okay. So yeah, this is Aurora. And she is a mini jade plant. A mini jade plant. And I love her so much. This is another very like dry climate plant. They do really well with lots of sunlight, very direct light, and because it's got the really thick, more waxy leaves, they don't need as much water, so you're probably good watering these every 3 weeks as well, or even later. But yeah, this is a mini jade plant. I also have, I won't be showing you today, but I also have a larger jade plant, and it's a hanging plant, and it's kind of cascading over the hanging planter itself. And what I'm really curious about is how they do that. Like how do they make mini jade plants from the actual jade plants, and how do they also make hanging jade plants? There's just a lot of questions that I have about jade plants because there's so many different kinds. I mean, there's so many different kinds of all these sorts of plants, so sorry, there's a lot of variation. But yeah, this is Aurora. Okay, I will now be talking. Oh, another thing about Aurora that I've just started noticing. I've been moving her around a lot. She was doing really well here in my room, in front of my window, which is kind of behind the camera right now. But she was doing well there, and she wasn't really dropping leaves. And so I felt really good about where she was. But then I also thought, well, she's kind of a dry climate plant, and she might want more light. So I did move her. I moved her into our kitchen at our college house, right by another window. But I don't know what it is. My room like holds a lot of heat in here. It stays very warm, and I think it's because of my string lights and my candles. But it stays very warm in here, so I think she really liked that humidity of my room. And when I moved her, I noticed she has been dropping a lot more leaves, so I think it's probably best to keep her in here. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing you my last small plant. And these, I would say, they're beginner plants, but out of the ones I have, the this one is definitely the easiest to kill. And I say that from experience. So this is a Boston fern. Got really beautiful leaves, and all of this is really like new growth, I'd say, because it was probably only this tall before. And there were only like a couple of like thick leaves. So we're doing really well here, folks. But yeah. So that's my Boston fern. Oh, sorry. It's my Boston fern. Sorry, it's really hot and I'm trying to sit here in a comfortable way. But this is my Boston fern. I'm gonna name him, as you can tell, I'm a pretty bad plant mom because I'm only naming these now. But this looks kind of like a George to me. So I'm gonna name him George. But yeah, we're doing really well. What I've been doing with these, well, side story, I mentioned that I killed some of these before. And I don't know if it was because, okay, my college, soon to be a university, we have an on-campus atrium, and they have a plant sale every once in a while where you can buy really cheap plants, and sometimes really big ones. And I bought a couple ferns from them, and they did well for like a week or two, and then they just started turning brown like really fast. So it all went downhill from there. But I will say there are lots of little plants. I did repot that one, so maybe the soil wasn't right. And I later split it into two because I noticed the plant was standing weird in the pot because it had grown so much and the roots were coming out of the hole at the bottom of the pot. But that one died, and now there are little sprouts coming up. But I think they're weeds. I can't really tell. They're like just the two leaves. But one of the sprouts, it looks like a tree. It's like brown and then green coming out. It's weird. It's like, it looks like wood, and then, so I don't really know if that's something else from my house in my hometown when I repotted the plant, or if it is a weed. But you know what, at this point, the fern in that plant, or that pot, is dead. So I'm just gonna let the weeds grow, and then I'll just have weird other little plants. But yeah, this fern I have not killed. So we're doing good with this one. Lots of good growth. A fun fact that I learned, which I did not know. Hold on, I'm gonna resituate. A fun fact that I did not know is that when repotting plants, you should really only have like 2 centimeters on the edge of your plant, like extra space. And I did not know that. I thought even if it's really big, that's okay. But apparently not. Apparently they only need a little bit of space, because otherwise you can overwater, and that makes sense. So I think that's why this one's doing good, because I haven't repotted it into such a big planter. So George is doing good. I'm happy to see him thriving. I've been watering him like once a week. Actually, a tip I learned is sometimes plants don't need to be watered once a week. You do the finger check where you stick your finger like 5 centimeters into the soil, and if you pull your finger out and the dirt still sticks to your finger, you don't need to water it. Wait till you stick it in and nothing stays on your hand, and that's when you know you need to water it. Okay, so I have now shown you all of my, another note, I forgot about this. Besides just watering, I've been misting him as well. I emptied out an old face care spray that was done, and I've been filling it up with water, and I've been misting him every day, and I think he really likes that. So pro tip if you want to not kill a fern. Okay. Oh, this leaf is stuck on the other plant. So those are my plants that I wanted to show you. Again, I have a hanging jade plant as well, but that one's big. It's like this big, and I couldn't bring it in because it's hanging outside. He's enjoying the sunny weather we're having in Michigan, and he's just living his best life, so I wanted to leave him out there. Hello, it's me as I'm editing this very video. I'm also secretly hoping that my fan is not as loud as it sounds, but I have a feeling it is. Anyway, it's hot, so I'm gonna keep it on. Thank you. Side note though, this is where my camera decided to cut out without making any sound to alert me. So, I could show you the rest of this video, but some of it is me showing you pictures from that plant book, and you can't see what I'm showing you, so I'm not gonna do that. But I still hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. I hope you really liked seeing my baby plants and learning about them, maybe. And I'm sorry if parts of it were too loud. Let me know if you prefer this kind of whispering or talking kind of like I have like this. So yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' feedback, or maybe videos you want to see